This is Charlie Crimebuster. This is going to be an update on the Texas massacre school shooting. Some things we know now that we did not know before. This is a quick update on that shooting. Well, hello and welcome to Charlie Crimebuster. We're going to just give you a quick update this week on what's happening with the Texas massacre. This is just a really sad situation, particularly in light of the mistakes that we're making in the investigation and the response to the shooting. Well, we read today that I guess the district police chief there, the guy who was in charge there, the one who reportedly made the call not to send officers for more than an hour into Robb Elementary School. That was to confront the 18-year-old gunman, Ramos there. Well, guess what? He's not going to face any disciplinary action. That's according to the independent school district. They decided that in a meeting back this last week on June the 3rd. You see, the board, they took the call after analysis of why this police chief made the decision for officers not to breach the classroom. This is where the gunman had barricaded himself with, now get this, 2 teachers and students. Well, the officials there said that the chief there, he thought that the gunman was barricaded into a room rather than an active shooter. So he thought he was a barricaded subject rather than an active shooter. They also said that he did not have a radio. Didn't even have a radio while he was commanding the scene. So during that district board meeting this past week, June the 3rd, the officials declared, they did say that the students and staff were not going to return to the elementary campus. They're going to permanently close that. They're going to move the school to a brand new campus. Well, of course, all kinds of people have responded. One Twitter user said this about this chief: "What kind of man doesn't talk with parents in the entire town, but instead hides? A coward," another one wrote. Another one said he's a coward who should spend the rest of his life being reminded that he is a coward. Then somebody else said, what? He did not have his radio equipment with him? WTF was he doing? He was caught. Well, on and on it goes. Look, as you can imagine, there was a whole lot of negative comments. By the way, he remains on the job, and he's always, as of now, declined to comment. Somebody said the chief was hiding from the media because he knows his police officers failed the students and the teachers who lost their life. The police did nothing but stand around while the active shooter was inside the school killing students and teachers. Well, that's the most recent news that's come out. Now, I guess we find out that he thought it was a barricaded subject rather than an active shooter. Well, my friend, in my opinion, he's still wrong. He still made a very serious mistake. You see, he should have known exactly what was going on. If he did not know, he should have asked enough questions, got on the scene, got a radio, got there, and know what was happening. They had people stacked in the hallway ready to go in after this gunman. Now, another thing we don't know, I didn't know this the last time that we talked about this. You see, not only did these officers not respond because he did not lead them to respond, they did not respond because the command, get this, the command was to stand down. He made a commandment to stand down. Now, thankfully, finally, some of the officers said, enough of this. Even though I may lose my job for disobeying a direct command by the incident commander, we're going in. And they went in, and they did neutralize the shooter. They killed him. My friend, this has tragedy all over it. There are people across the country. There are police officers across the country. There are law enforcement agencies across the country that are literally enraged at this actions of this district school police chief. Now, you know me. You know I'm an avid supporter of law enforcement. We have the PeacemakerNetwork.com that supports men and women in law enforcement, along with first responders, along with heroes. You know how much my heart is behind the brave men and women of law enforcement. But my friend, we have to face the facts here. This man made a critical wrong decision, and as a result of it, people died. Now, there's one other thing that came up that I thought we ought to mention on the program. You know, it was first reported a teacher had left a door unlocked, that she propped it open with something. Well, we find now that that wasn't true. She did prop it open only to grab her phone so that she could look and see at the shooter and then turn around and call 911. And then she closed the door and locked the door, except the door did not lock. So that's another thing they're going to have to look at. What's going on with these door situations? The other thing that I mentioned last week, and I want to mention again this week, I don't know why in the world that many people responding in an emergency situation did not have something that they could breach the door with. They should not have to wait for somebody to show up with keys. Now I'm thinking that even if they'd had that, or maybe they did have it, we don't know for sure, but if they did have something to breach the door, we know the reason they did not use it in a timely fashion is because, again, of this command to stand down. Well, again, my friend, this is tragic. It's tragic because this man made a very, very bad judgment. And as a result of it, people died. This is why when you're on a command scene, when you're a commander in charge of a scene, you need to make sure that you're getting the right information, that the right information is coming to you. And if you do not know the information, you need to go out and find the information. And if you get information, you need to confirm that it is accurate information. So again, my friend, even though there are some people that are trying to excuse him because of the fact that he thought he was a barricaded suspect, common sense tells you when shots are being fired and calls are coming into 911 from people who are inside the classroom, it really just doesn't compute, my friend. It doesn't compute. So we're gonna have to realize that this was just a bad mistake all the way around, and we're gonna have to give this man thumbs down. So I just wanted to get you caught up on what's happening there in Texas. I know they're going to find out a lot more in the investigation as it goes forward. But until then, let's all take the time to say a prayer for these families who lost loved ones. Some of them they should not have lost if this commander had reacted accurately. Till this time next time, this is Charlie Crimebuster reminding you, stay safe, stay alert. For the life you save, well, it may be your very own.